Welcome back to The Morning Blend. Our next guest says there are 3 very important legal ways to show your love to the people you care about. Al Spiegel is an attorney and partner at Mclario, Helm, Bertling and Spiegel. Good morning to you, Al.
Good morning, Molly. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Wonderful to see you. I think some of these ways that we can show people that we love them seem really simple, but they're so important, starting just with having important conversations, which a lot of times we tend to avoid.
We certainly do. Yeah, there are so many things that we kind of assume other people know, or we assume there'll be a good time to talk about in the future. And it's such a blessing to the people in our life if we just sit down and get through 5 seconds of awkwardness and have these conversations about what we want to do and how we think about things.
Yeah, and the other thing is about documents. I think this is really a pain, and the type of work that we don't enjoy doing, and sometimes it can even be complicated. But your second tip for a legal reason to show people that we love them is to get necessary documents in place.
Yeah, kind of on the flip side of that, I have had far too many cases where people haven't done the documents necessary, especially people who are in a little more complex family situations, and they've kind of left a mess for everybody to figure out in the event that they become incapacitated or die. And I can assure you that people who have been through that kind of a mess know that you can't do much more than make everything clear so that everybody knows what you want and that everything's set up so that they're not going to have to go through a rigmarole to get things done according to your wishes.
And probably important to review it on a somewhat regular basis, too, throughout the years, right?
Yeah, it absolutely is. You'd be surprised how often people come in and don't remember what they had written in prior documents. And when I pull those documents out and read to them what they said 5 or 10 years ago, they're shocked and they're very happy that they're in reviewing them because something has changed that makes them want something very different now than they did a decade ago.
Your third tip, I think I get what you mean here, but I'd love for you to explain, because what you say is give what you want to give so that you can enjoy doing it.
Yeah, and this is really something that I've learned from a lot of my clients. I've had a lot of clients, you think that traditionally you make your will or you make your trust and you list out, here's who gets this and here's who gets this, and I want to make sure this person can go to college, or I want to give this person my car, or whatever it is. And I found a lot of clients have told me what a great blessing it is to them and how rewarding it is if they do some of that giving while they're alive. If they have grandmother's wedding ring that they want to give to their granddaughter, what better way to do that than hand it to her yourself instead of waiting until your death? You can enjoy it, you can pass along stories, and you can make a really special moment for that person instead of them receiving it at a time that's sad because they miss you.
It's such a great point. I think that's something a lot of people should really take to heart. Such great advice. And another thing is that you say to establish a relationship with an attorney you trust before you have a case, because it's a kind of relationship you want to have for life, because things often come up where you need a legal expert.
It absolutely is. And I know a lot of my clients, when we get their estate plan set up, one of the last questions they ask me is, so if something happens, can my kids just call you? And when I say yes, that's a source of great comfort for them. There's no shopping around. There's no trying to figure out what the documents say or what the next steps are. All they have to do is give us a call because that relationship's been established. They trust us, and they are telling their kids that they can trust us to handle it too. We really appreciate that. That's a great honor that we take very seriously, and it's a great blessing to your kids to be able to tell them, just call this number and they'll tell you what to do next.
Do you sometimes work in tandem with people, say financial planners, for example, when you're handling somebody's documents and figuring out what their wishes are and what they would like to see happen?
We absolutely do. I mean, there's great wisdom in having a council of advisors, and we do legal work. We don't do financial investment work. We don't do medical advice. We don't do long-term sort of treatment planning. But yeah, a lot of my clients have a lot of these different folks, and a lot of our work overlaps. So it's not unusual that I'll talk to someone and their financial advisor, or talk to someone and the relative that's helping them decide what next steps are as far as care. So yeah, absolutely. Those are things that are intertwined not only initially when we set up the estate plan, but in the event of someone's incapacity or death, we're really able, if we've established those relationships, to continue working as a team and make sure that the plans that that individual put in place are going to succeed as they intended.
Al, thank you so much for your time. Really important stuff.
Yeah, absolutely, Molly. Have a great day.
You too. Some wonderful legal ways to show someone that you love them. And you can schedule a free consultation with one of the lawyers at Mclario, Helm, Bertling and Spiegel. They'd love to be your firm for life. And Al says it's a good idea to reach out now, even if you don't have a case, so that you can get to know them when you need the help. The phone number is there on your screen. It's 262-251-4210 or mclario.com.